Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi and today in this video I'm going to be talking about the nakshatra or the constellation of Rohini. So this is my second video on Rohini, and if you haven't watched the first one I suggest you go and watch it, because this video is only going to make sense to you if you watch the first one. In this video today I'm only going to be talking about the division of Rohini into four parts, into the four padas or the four charans, and how that would change the energy a little bit. And wherever your planets are in these four padas, they're going to have different energies, so we're going to be doing that. And then I'm going to be touching career options a little bit, generally the career options that are really good with this nakshatra, very well suited to this nakshatra. And the third thing that I'm going to talk about here is the activities that are good for us people to do when moon is transiting Rohini, because when we do muhurat, when we find the right time for any activity, then we see the moon's nakshatra. That is one of the things we see. It is very important, so it is good to know which all activities are good when moon is transiting any specific nakshatra and which all activities are not so good at that point of time. So I'm going to be touching these three things. And if you don't know what are nakshatras or what are these constellations that I'm talking about, our zodiac belt, which has 12 zodiacs, are further divided into smaller parts of 27 constellations or nakshatras, and every zodiac has 2 nakshatras, even though that's not how they are divided. But so every nakshatra is divided into 4 padas. So every zodiac has 9 such padas. So they would have almost like 2 nakshatras complete and 1/4 of a third nakshatra. So that's not actually how it's working out if you see the way they are divided across the zodiac. For example, in this zodiac of Taurus, the first 2 padas are of Kritika, and then comes the entire Rohini. Rohini has all its 4 padas in Taurus, and then comes the first 3 padas of Mrikshira. So that's how it works out. So they are divided across the zodiac belt, and that is what makes all the difference. The constellations make all the difference. The planets placed there have different energies, so it's important to know this part as well. But do go and watch the first video if you haven't watched the first video. I'm not going to go into all those details again. So let's suppose your planet is in the first pada of Rohini, and if you go into the D9 chart, then that planet would be in the Navamsha of Aries. So now let's see the energies that are playing in this case. So you have the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. You have Rohini, which is ruled by Moon, and in the Navamsh it has gone into Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So now this is Venus and Moon and Mars. And yesterday in my video I talked about there being a lot of materialistic energy in Rohini. The native who has a prominent Rohini would be very desirous and would also be very fortunate in many ways, but also would have high desires of materialistic gains. So he would want a lot of wealth. And if the planet has gone into the Navamsha of Aries, it means the energy level is going to be very high. The will is going to be very strong, because internally the planet has gone into the Navamsha of Mars. So inside, this desire is going to have the energy of Aries. So the desire, the impatience level, the will to have it all now. So Aries people can't wait for something to happen at a later time. They want everything now. It's like the small child, So they want all the wealth in the world and they want it now. They will go out and make their best effort. They will be very strong-willed, very determined, very energetic, but on the inside impatient. Of course they want to hoard wealth, but they have no patience for it. So these guys are go-getters. And the second Navamsh would go into Taurus. So if you have your any planet between 10 degrees of Taurus to 13 degree 20 minutes, that would go into the Navamsha of Aries. If the planet comes between 13 degrees 20 minutes of Taurus to 16 degree 40 minutes of Taurus, that planet would go into the Navamsha of Taurus. So now in the second pada, let's see the energies that are now playing. So Taurus is the sign ruled by Venus. Moon is the planet which rules Rohini, and it has gone to the Navamsha of Taurus. So again Venus. So this is Venus, Moon, Venus. And so this is double Taurus. And yesterday in my video I discussed why Taurus is a very strong-headed sign? Why is it such a bullish sign? Why is it such a stubborn sign? The stubbornness is very, 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 very enhanced in the second pada of Taurus. These guys are like, you can't move them. You may be able to move a mountain, you can't move them. And they will not want to move their little finger for anything. They would want everything to be done for them. They would want to give orders, and they would want everything to be done by, for them. And I've practically seen that. And these guys are very fortunate, because look at all the 3 planets, and Venus, Moon and Venus. So that's a lot of Venus. That's a lot of Taurus energy. And we discussed why Taurus and why Rohini is nakshatra which gives a lot of wealth. And so you can go and watch that video. And in this sign, this will be more of wealth. They will have everything on demand. They will not want to move their little finger. They will not move also. They will not want to make a lot of effort. These guys want to stay fixed doing whatever they're doing. But when they do, they take very forceful action, because that's the nature of the sign of Taurus. When you get them on a track, then they are on a track. And once they've made up their mind, they've made up their mind. But getting them to move for the first time is going to be difficult. So all the Venusian qualities, all the desires, the sensuous nature, the sexual interests are going to be higher in this second pada. Now let's talk about the third pada. The third pada will go into the Navamsha of Gemini. So now we have Venus, and we have Moon, and we have Mercury. So in this case, again, there are 2 Rajas planets, 2 Rajasic planets. Like in the second Navamsha also, there were 2 Rajasic planets, the third also. Now business tact would be more in the third Navamsha, because Mercury has, the business sense. So these guys will have the business sense. They would be more inclined towards business rather than, artistic things. This would be more towards business, more towards communication. These people would be more jovial, more friendly, kind of a party kind of a person. So this guy is a party kind of a person, whereas the Venus Taurus is more of a relaxed, comfort loving kind of a person. And the Aries one was very self-motivated, because he wanted things very, very quickly. So this third guy, whose planet has gone into the third Navamsha, to the Navamsha of Gemini, is more communicative, jovial, intelligent, business-minded, light. This person is a light-hearted kind of a person. And so then we come down to the fourth Navamsha. The fourth Navamsha, the planet that goes, so the third Navamsha, we didn't discuss the degrees, was from 16 degree 40 minutes to 20 degrees of Taurus. So planets which go between 16 degree 40 minutes to 20 degrees would go into the Navamsha of Gemini, the third Navamsha. Now 20 degrees of Taurus to 23 degrees 20 minutes of Taurus is the fourth Navamsha. And the fourth Navamsha of Taurus would go into the sign of Cancer. So the planet anywhere posited between 20 degrees to 23 degrees 20 minutes will go into the sign of Cancer. Now these people, look at the energy here. So this is Venus for Taurus, Moon for Rohini, and Moon for Cancer. So Moon, the qualities of the Moon will be more. This person is going to be very emotional, sensitive, more attached to family, more attached to home, more comfort loving as in they would want to be home. They are people who can go to any extent for their family, who'd also almost like obsess about their family. They would have to travel quite a bit, because Moon also signifies travel. Moon is one of the fastest moving planets, so it signifies travel also. So they a lot of travel related professions could also be related to them, but they would want to come back home. They would always want to be home, and they would yearn to be with their family, and they would be emotional and sentimental and very attached to their family. So these are the general smaller differences in the energy levels of the four padas. Now if we talk about profession, the professions that are very, very suitable for Rohini people are, firstly, like we talked about, Rohini being the favorite wife of the Moon. So Rohini being somebody who knows how to take care of herself, somebody who knows how to do makeup. So anything related to makeup, to dressing up, to self-grooming, to clothes, the fashion industry, the beauty industry, the salons and everything. Anything related to, even your health, taking care of your health, general welfare, anything related to communication. Rohini has this strong energy of communication. It is the second house. Anything related to food right from production to packaging to transportation also of food. Could be somebody who transports food, could be somebody who packages food, could be somebody who works in a farm, or who owns land and is a big landlord, and he's growing wheat or something. That also could be. Also this could be anything related to the milk industry, liquids, wines, especially in the fourth pada, that in the fourth Navamsh, where it goes into Cancer in the D9 chart. People could be more involved into the food and milk industry, the liquids, wines, travel industry, anything related to cars, car dealerships, because we have the cart here. The bullock cart signifies. So anything related to travel, transport, having those buses or truck transports, or the car dealerships, or travel and tourism, enjoyment, luxuries, because Taurus and Rohini is all about enjoyment and luxuries. So anything related to enjoyment, luxuries, wellness, fitness, gardening, herbs, something you grow from a garden, processed foods, you grow tomatoes and you process them and you make tomato ketchup and you sell them, small industries, anything like that. And then also you can relate finance industry, finance, banking, insurance, anything related to the finance industry, the flowers, selling of flowers, florists, anything related to the food industry, food as in hotels, restaurants, we call it the hospitality, the hospitality industry. So anything related to the hospitality industry, anything related to interior designing. So especially in the fourth pada, in the Navamsh of Cancer, or even the Navamsh of Taurus, could be interior designing. Jewelry, again in the Navamsh of Taurus, in the second Navamsh also could be connected to jewelry. Then anything related to fine arts, dancing, music. So we did talk about there being a lot of creativity in the nakshatra of Rohini. This is a very, very creative nakshatra. Anything related to any kind of creativity, any kind of production. You want to produce anything, do it in the nakshatra of Rohini. You want to create anything, you can do it in the nakshatra of Rohini. In fact, anything related to science and creativity, creating in something related to science, inventing something in science could also be related to the nakshatra of Rohini. So that's a very wide field that Rohini covers. Anything creative, anything productive. Now let's talk about the activities one should do when moon is transiting Rohini, and the activities one should not do. So this nakshatra has, it is a very auspicious nakshatra. Materialistically, it's a great nakshatra. So any productive activity, right from getting married, anything you want, that should grow. Because remember, I told you the Shakti is Rohan, to grow, the ability to make something grow. So anything you want, that should grow. Any business venture, if you want to get married, if you want to travel and you want your travels to grow and flourish in any way, any creative activity, you can do anything like that in the nakshatra of Rohini. Anything you don't want should grow. Don't do it in the nakshatra of Rohini. For example, the demolition of a house, breaking something down. We don't want to continue demolishing houses, right? So anything that you don't want to continue happening, you're just doing it once, don't do it in Rohini. So anything destructive should not be done in Rohini, because whatever you do in Rohini kind of grows. So all the auspicious activities should be done so that they keep growing, and all the inauspicious activities like criticizing, like any kind of destructive activity, getting rid of something, should not be done in this nakshatra. So that is all for this video for now. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.